What's up, guys? I'm feeling very under the weather, and it's to do with my monthly. Every woman goes through this, and I just have a difficult time with mine. But anyway, I won't go into any more detail than that. I want to talk about what's going on Watts Island and associated things, not just what's related. Um, I wanted to talk about Lauren Arnold, who is somebody that I never knew anything about, never knew much about. It was Bam when she was here and when I was friends with her that actually let me know about Lauren Arnold. And as far as I'm aware, she was a friend of Shanann's and um, a very close friend of Shanann's. I think she had also children, roughly the same age as Shanann had. I'm not too sure about that, but she also had some girls. And after what happened, after all that happened, this is what Bam relayed to me, that there was some kind of fundraiser that Lauren Arnold had raised some money. Bam told me it was a figure of about 200 grand. Don't know what that money was raised for. I don't remember what she said exactly. Um, she told me that Lauren Arnold had raised 200 grand for the Rusex. Don't know what the reason was. Don't know what that 200,000 was for. And I'm not saying this is correct either, because this is coming from Bang, who near the end of her life was a very, very, very unpleasant person. Just very unpleasant. And on reflection, I'm so glad that, in her last few months, she got outgamed and outplayed and outsmarted. I'm so glad that she did. And I'm so glad that people can now feel free and open to talk about, what she put them through. Because she was just a very, very unpleasant person, in the last few months before she was taken down. Very unpleasant, very arrogant, didn't care about anybody but herself, very self-absorbed and very, very fixated on the Rusex. And she transferred her emotions from the Rusex to Shanann. That's my belief. And she used Shanann to get to them. So anyway, Bam told me that this 200 grand was raised. I don't know what for. And she actually sent me a print screen of something that she claimed that Frankie had said in some group. I don't know if it was Facebook or online somewhere. I wanted, and I was going to put the actual statement that Frankie wrote in this podcast, but I'm actually not going to do that because I really don't want to poke the bear, so to speak. When it comes to this Lauren Arnold thing, the long and the short of it is that Lauren Arnold and the Rusex had a fallout and are no longer friends. And according to what Frankie wrote in this statement, let me just take a sip of this. According to what Frankie has written in this thing that Bam had sent me, was that he didn't want anyone to be associated or involved with Lauren Arnold anymore, that she was in some part of prayer group, and he was apparently telling people to leave the group. And according to Frankie, in this print screen that Bam sent me quite a few months ago, and it was during our friendship, so it would have been a long time ago, actually, probably a year ago. He's saying that Lauren Arnold is associated and works alongside people that don't like the Rusex, so he wanted nothing to do with her. Apparently, according to Frankie, Lauren loves the attention and doesn't care at all about Shanann. But, according to Lauren, from what I've heard, according to her, she was very close to Shanann and very good friends with Shanann. And I'm not going to get involved on being on sides here. I mean, if Lauren Arnold really wanted to make much of this, she could have started a channel she could have done videos and she could have taken advantage of this case like a lot of other people are doing, like AD did and his other friend. And, like what Zawoki's doing right now. I mean, every day Zawoki's putting out a new video on the Watts case because he knows that that's going to grow his channel. So, yes, according to Bam, she raised money for them. And, basically what Bam was saying is that, the Rusex, they're all about money. And when something happened, when push came to shove, they just abandoned her and turned their backs on her. That was what Bam was trying to say. But, Lauren has her own story, and she could have done interviews. She could have written books. She could have started a YouTube channel a long, long time ago. And she could have used this case to her advantage if she really wanted to. So, yes, as I was saying on my community post, and I've been saying this for years, AD will play cat and mouse, and AD only does what he thinks will benefit himself. So if he doesn't see if he sees that there's nothing in it for him to go to court, then he won't go. If he thinks he can turn things around to his advantage, then he may do. But he's somebody that you can't rely on, and he's somebody that you're not going to get anything out of. And even though he's been very civil towards me and very much of a gentleman towards me, and I have no, I wish AD well. I do think he should be held accountable for some of the things that he's done regarding cases. Yes, I do. But, I wish him well. I don't have that in my heart for him that some people do. However, he's... I figured out AD from day one. AD is all about AD. He doesn't have the empathy for people that many of us have. He doesn't have that. It's all about him. And it's not just narcissism. It's more than that. It's personality traits that he has. He just doesn't feel empathy. He's not capable of it. He's all about himself. Having said that, there are people that have covered the Watts case that have been far more negative towards the Rusex than him. Bam, for one, was far, far, far more negative towards them. And, I think I'm being kind by saying that. And we also have another one who is, we know who that person is, who patterned themselves off of AD, who is far more negative. So, even though he was the first and he had one of the biggest audiences, he's not the cream of the crop in terms of the negativity that was given to the Rusex. And you're not going to get anything out of him. One thing about AD that I can say he's excellent as is that, he's very good at dodging and escaping his responsibilities. And he's very good at, trying to excuse himself and wiggling out of things. He's very good at that. And I know that my opinion is going to be unpopular, but I'm just telling you the truth. There's nothing to be gained out of AD. AD is one of these people that you kind of see that he's a used car salesman. He's going to try and sell you something. You just have to be smart enough not to follow him down or follow him up the wrong path, so to speak, the garden path, so to speak. He's just AD, and AD is all about himself, and he will never ever change. I don't even think that he will ever apologize in a genuine way, because I think that he's built himself up to believe that he's really the sympathetic figure. And the Watts case was a business to him, and that's all it was. He didn't care about the people. He didn't care about Shanann, didn't care about Frankie. They were just objects for him. He doesn't care about NK and the things that he said about her. They were just objects for him that he could use as a business. And that's just the way he is. I figured AD out from day one. Day one, I knew what he was about. I was very surprised when he became very popular. online because I thought surely people can see through him. But you see, he was very good at tapping into a certain audience, just like Taylor Swift does. People wonder why Taylor Swift is so popular because she's been able to tap into a mainly, you know, teenage audience, girls that want to be like her, just like Madonna did back in the 80s. He was able to tap into an audience that were after NK, and he was very, very good at doing that. And that's what he used to build his channel, along with these, shadows that I've never bought into. But, AD is never going to change. You're not going to get anything out of AD. Also, the Watts house has apparently been sold, again, very quickly after it was bought. I just want to say something about Brian Koberger and the Idaho case, because I know that there are a few people that are interested in that case. What can I say about it? Brian strikes me as a very strange guy. There's just something about him that's just very odd and very strange. And there's something about him that I see in a lot of people of his kind, is that he just has this very flat affect. Personally speaking, I think he's the man. Could I be wrong? Of course I could. But there is just something about him. I can never ever say what the outcome of a trial is going to be, or the outcome of a court case. Never can I predict that. I'm not psychic. But there's just something about Brian Koberger that I just find very eerie. If I saw him, if I opened my curtains and I saw him standing outside, I would be really creeped out. So there's just something about him, and I don't know, I don't have all the answers, but to me, he just is the type of person that would probably do something like that. There's two other trials that I'm watching right now, and that's the Chad Daybell trial, which I haven't been watching as much as I thought I would, but I've been trying to keep up with that because I did cover the Glory and Chad Daybell story on my channel when I first started. And I'm also watching the Boston trial, the Karen Reed trial, because it's really making waves in Boston. And I think it's because, it's police officer, and then you've got this kind of glamorous woman, attractive woman. And people tend to watch cases that have attractive people in it. I mean, the reason why the Koberger case is popular and why people are interested in it is partly because of the attractiveness of the victims. Partly because of the age of the victims. We're living in a social media era where, the age of the victims, the people who watch social media and people who watch TC and court TV and are interested in cases tend to be of a certain age. So that's why this case is popular, I think, amongst certain people. And I haven't covered it much, but I will tell you that Brian, I think the guy's a bit off. I think he's off. That's just my personal opinion. There's just something off about him. I'm pretty sure that I've forgotten to mention quite a few things in this podcast. Sometimes my mind just gets overcrowded and I don't remember everything, and I've stopped jotting things down. But another person who left us, whose channel is no longer up, is True Tam. And True Tam was a Watts creator, and she also was a very good dancer. And she used to dance to all types of music. She loved her hip hop. She loved Jamaican music. She loved reggae. She loved Shabba Ranks. She liked Rihanna. She liked rap music. She liked Selena. And I used to love watching her dancing, never mind her view on the Watts case. I didn't dislike her because she had very, very different views to me. I tuned in to watch her dancing. She was a very good dancer, and I liked her, and I found her very entertaining. And I try to be open-minded about other people's opinions, because we're all going to have different opinions on various things. So, True Tam, wherever you are, I do very much miss you, and I hope to see you on another social media site at some point. I really enjoyed your dancing. And I'm actually going to post a link that I did about her, one of the videos that I did about her quite a few months ago, at the end of this video, so you can get the gist of who she is. But I actually very, very much enjoyed watching her dancing. I just want to say something else about AD. Bam was very supportive of AD. And she tried, I think she tried to get everybody who was in her channel to support AD. And that's what she wanted. And she saw that I wasn't on board with it. And I think that's one of many reasons why she didn't like me anymore, at the end. Um, she was talking about, appearing as a star witness for AD. And she really viewed him as the sympathetic figure. And I thought, personally speaking, I think that a lot of what she started saying about various things was based on her. I don't think they were genuine. I don't think they were genuine. I don't see how she could have arrived at the decision that she made to support him, but she did, and she was very, very in her mind that AD was going to get compensation and that he was going to get thousands and thousands of dollars in compensation. I actually have a recording of her saying that. And even in the unlikely event that he's awarded compensation, no one is going to give him that. No one's going to pay out anything to AD. But so many things happen on this Watts Island. So many different things happen, and it's a lot of drama. A lot of drama. Anyway, see you next time.